If someone were to ask you, what's the greatest hip-hop song that uses a horn sample? What would be your answer? I'd say they Reminisce Over You by UPROXX and CL Smooth. They basically did a eulogy for their friend Troy. I mean, how do you respond to the loss of a loved one? That's like asking, what do you do when someone punches you in the face? You'll never know how you'll react until you're in that situation. As hard as I'm sure it was, UPROXX chose to make a song, and an amazing one at that. So in this video, UPROXX will briefly explain who Troy Dixon was and what he meant to him, some facts that you may or may not have known regarding the making of the song, and we'll end it with producers such as Just Blaze, Swizz Beatz, and 9th Wonder giving reasons why they love this song so much. First of all, let's talk about the man himself. Who was Troy Dixon?
They Reminisce Over You was a song I did about a homeboy that lived on my block. He was one of Heavy's dancers. His name was Trouble T. Roy. It was a freak accident on stage and he died, fell off the stage 20 feet, and which devastated the community, and what came out of it was this song.
When speaking to DJ Booth, UPROXX said, Trouble T. Roy was a close friend of mine that lived 3 houses down from me. Mount Vernon, where we're from, is a close-knit community, 4 square miles wide and long. He meant the world to us all. When he died, we poured our hearts into the music and dedicated what we thought was one of the best creations ever made in hip-hop. It blows my mind that Pete and CL were able to make this song, because usually when you lose a loved one, it's not something that you want to talk about a lot, especially with strangers. But they chose to share their experience with the world. And as shocked and sad as they were from Troy passing away, I'm sure that I can speak for all hip-hop fans when I say we are eternally grateful that this song exists. And the idea to make this song came about when Pete heard the sample, which is Today by Tom Scott. I found the Tom Scott record in the record store when I was digging with Large Professor. He knew about the record. So Large Pro knew about the record and co-signed it, and Black Sheep had already used it for their song Similac Child. But you know how it goes in hip-hop. Back in the day, if another producer used a sample, you weren't supposed to touch it unless you were gonna flip it different. And that's exactly what UPROXX did. The saxophone sample hit me right in the chest, right in the soul. That spoke to me and made me get more curious about the song. So I played it from beginning to end, and I heard more things that I wanted to bring forth in the beat. So he started working on the beat at Large Professor's house at first, then finished up at his own home, and great minds think alike, because CL Smooth already had the verses ready for it.
Another crazy part of this Reminisce story is that CL already had the song written out. We just need to find a beat that matched what he was saying. A lot of magic was happening, you know what I'm saying, in the studio. Just things just come out of nowhere and then it fits, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just a vibe, man, magical vibe. Reminisce made me cry. You know, when I made the beat, I started feeling emotional, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm to myself, making beats and I hit on something like that, you know, the emotions just, that's when I know this beat may work. You know what I'm saying? Make people, other people feel that the same way.
And what's so crazy to me is just like the elements of the beat. Like how it starts with that intro that comes from another song, then the infamous horns come in, and when CL starts rapping, you hear those drums, which for the longest time, I never thought about where they came from, but now that I know, that makes it even more crazy. And he's doing all these crazy drum fills all over the place and not just playing the same pattern over and over through the whole song. And don't even get me started on how he's got the horns echoing throughout the beat and how he filtered the bass line from the sample. Now mind you, this is before Pro Tools. He's on the SP1200 and had to save the beat on multiple floppy disks, and there was only like 10 seconds of total sampling time on the SP. I know I'm nerding out right now, but am I the only one who feels like this about this song? That was a rhetorical question, but the answer is still no. So let's see what Swizz Beatz, DJ Revolution, Just Blaze, and 9th Wonder have to say about how Troy impacted them.
My favorite UPROXX song is definitely Reminisce. It just was classic. When it first come on, like it demands the attention, and then it instantly take you back to that time and era.
I just gotta say, I remember the exact date and time that I heard that record. I know exactly where I was. And I was at a college radio station. It was about 6:30 in the evening on a Friday. So we put it on, and nobody said for like the next 4 minutes. listening to that, we're just like, yo, this is incredible. We played it again. We stopped it and we said, yo, this is brand new UPROXX Spoon, whatever. Boom, we played it again. Everywhere I go, all over the world, whether it's China or whatever, Europe, it doesn't matter. And when I play that record, it does something to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something going on with that record, and you know what it means, and just what it does to a crowd full of people that is unlike any other record that I usually play. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, whenever you ever been in a party and see people go crazy and lose their minds about a song about somebody who passed away, you don't see that. So to take that negative energy and turn that to such a positive, where even 15 years later you still throw that record on and people act like it just, that's probably the one record, it's like 3 records. If you like at a real hip hop party, it's probably that, Shook Ones Part 2, and It Ain't Hard to Tell. Woo! If you could throw those records on at any point and people will act like it just came out.
Yeah.
I saw it on the video. I first heard that song by watching the video first. And it was much different from all the videos that were being made at the time. This particular video looked like a Spike Lee movie almost. Like it was, you know, had CL's family in it and, you know, Fade to Black here and, you know, just your classic early 90s hip hop video. But it was very introspective and very family oriented, and, you know, it wasn't just a bunch of cats jumping in the camera. This was not that type of video. Everything just boils down to the horn break. Just, it's all about when P-Rock took that particular horn break in the song, it just changed everything. Like, that's probably one of the most well-known parts of hip-hop ever, from all the way up until today's time. When you can't play that horn break for somebody that's a hip-hop fan, no matter if they're 16 or 40, and they not know what it is. They might not know the name of the actual song, but they like, yeah, I heard that before. Like, I've heard that a lot of times. It's the ultimate riff.
You gotta check out this video by the GOAT, a producer who had Pete Rock as his favorite producer, and his name is J Dilla. So watch this video you see on screen called Breaking Down J Dilla's Micro Chopping Technique. Peace.